Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do the Glossier edit. I've really been wanting to make this video for quite some time, and what this is basically going to be is me ranking all of the makeup products from Glossier. Do I like them? Do I not like them? Who I think would like them? This, that, and the other. We're really just gonna do like a deep dive into Glossier. And I will say, I've been a day one Glossier fan. I bought phase 1, which was like the first launch Glossier ever did. And I was so excited about it. The brand has really evolved a lot, and I've been a fan since the beginning. Phase 1, Glossier Play too. Does anybody remember Glossier Play? I still have some Glossier Play products, but we're gonna be talking about the products that are currently available from Glossier. And by the way, I'm engaged. My boyfriend and I got engaged less than a week ago. I'm super excited about it. I'm not gonna be annoying and talk about it in this video because I know you're probably watching this just for the Glossier. So if you follow me on Instagram, you already know that I got engaged and I'm so excited even talking about it. Yeah, I'm really excited, and I will talk more about it in my November favorites where I can be a little bit more chatty. But, okay, we'll move into Glossier products. Glossier's Priming Moisturizer. There are two different formulas of this. There is the rich version and then just the original, which comes in the tube. This is very similar to Embryolisse Cream. If any of you are familiar with that, I do feel as though this is similarly based off of that formulation. It is a moisturizing product that happens to be perfect for prepping the skin before makeup application. Depending on the other types of skincare products that you wear with this, so typically I wear, like oils and like dewy skincare serums. So this sets down a little bit more reflective and shiny on my skin. Whereas if I'm not using those moisturizing skincare products, this does have a touch of a mattifying quality to it, which is actually really nice. There's just like this little hint of powder to the product, which gives you that really soft canvas to start going on, with makeup on top. I will say it is quite moisturizing. Is it the most moisturizing thing in the world? No, but when I wear it, I need to prep my face with other products to help keep that sense of hydration and moisture in the skin. It's a very simple, easy to work with primer. I do think it would be suitable to recommend to all skin types, especially if you're somebody who's not particularly fond of using anything that's, really gonna leave you with like anything like too dewy or too matte. You want something just in the middle. This has been a repurchase of mine over the years, so I do love the Glossier Priming Moisturizer. And then they also have the Glossier Future Dew. This is what I'm definitely gonna recommend the most. This is such a interesting product. So it is a oil serum hybrid. That's the way Glossier markets this. It really gives you that true like glowy, ethereal, like lit from within shine to the skin because it does have that oiliness to the texture. You will see it also does have this quite unique, almost like beige type of color to the product. So there is a little bit of sheen to it, and just the way the product actually feels on the skin. It's got this really nice, substantial, almost quite gel-like, but that's probably where the serum, like oil serum hybrid, comes into play. And it's got just the softest, luminous pearl to the product. You're really gonna get most of that high shine and high reflection from the oiliness. But when you do see the product up close, you will be able to see some of those pearl pigments in the product. I find them to be a little bit more on the rose gold side. You can use this to prime your face, so you can use it as the first products that you put on before you do your makeup application. You can mix this in with your makeup if you really want to help cut down on a formula that is particularly on the thick side, or you can wear it on top of your makeup. So versus something that's like a liquid illuminating product, this is more like a illuminating oil gel type of product. So you can use this very similarly to the way you use your illuminating products. Give that a try, but the tiniest little bit goes the longest way. It is very reflective, very shiny, and I love the moisturizing feeling it has on my skin. So definitely for a more dry skin type that really craves that shine and glow, I'm gonna recommend Future Dew over priming moisturizer. We're gonna talk about the two Glossier base coverage products. So we have the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint and then the Glossier Stretch Concealer. So Glossier's Perfecting Skin Tint is something that I've definitely talked about many times throughout the years. This is just a skin filter. By this time, there are so many other brands that have what I would consider to be a little bit more of a true skin tint type of product. I've done an entire video on skin tints. They're one of my favorite makeup products. This is just a dash of coverage. It's not particularly buildable. The longevity isn't anything to write home about, so it is a little bit more touch-up prone. I would recommend this to somebody who already has really great skin or just doesn't really want that much coverage. You don't care if you can see the hyperpigmentation on the face or anything. Perfecting Skin Tint, honestly, in my opinion, I would think that this would be the best for any of my male viewers who are really into wearing makeup, but you don't want to look like you have any makeup on. I know that's a little bit harder of a soft spot to achieve, and you can really get that flawless, like soft filtered bit of coverage from this product. But again, I have an entire like more in-depth video if you want more options on that. But for my ladies, I don't necessarily know if this is going to like hit home for many of us, especially with like hyperpigmentation, hormonal redness, acne, things like that. So take it as you will. And then the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I think this is much more of a versatile product, and I think you can actually wear this as foundation and concealer, and it's going to look so much better than the skin tint. So I actually showed you on one side of my face. You can really see the hyperpigmentation still peeking out from behind the Glossier skin tint versus the stretch concealers. I can use the lighter shade right under the eye, and that really helps brighten up that darkness and shadowiness under my eye. And then I can use the shade that matches my skin, like the planes of my face, a little bit more perfectly. And then those can be used as the, foundation product or spot concealing product, if you will. Stretch is very dewy, so keep that in mind. By setting Stretch Concealer with powder, you are going to give yourself an immense amount of longevity versus leaving it on the skin bare. But I think also it's so beautiful without being set with powder. Like, it's a really nice vibe to just have that really fresh, kind of like juicy, plump, youthful looking skin. So I actually really love this without setting it with powder, but you do have to do quite a few more touch-ups. And the Glossier Stretch Concealer is really similar to like the RMS Uncover Up. It's just one of those really beautiful concealers that has the unique ability to truly melt into your skin, mimics your skin's texture, and just really makes your skin look so much better while still looking realistic and like skin-like. Glossier's Wowder. So this is a loose, finely milled powder. I would say this is like semi-translucent. It does come in different shades, so it's obviously not going to be like a true translucent powder. You're still going to get a little bit of coverage from the powder itself, although it is sheer. I'm hoping that when I show you the product in direct sunlight, you can really see these very subtle shimmer pearl pigments to the powder. This does not show up on the skin in a way that looks unnatural, but that's actually one of my favorite qualities a powder can have, a setting powder particularly. I just really like how that, mattifies the skin and increases the longevity of your makeup without making you look dried out and chalky. I don't necessarily always love a fully matte powder. I think it kind of gets a little bit tricky and a little bit harder to work with, whereas something like this is really gonna give you something, more natural. This component has a little netting in the middle, which will let some of the powder almost sift through the net. And then on the lid, you actually have somewhat of like a stopping device so that when the powder is enclosed, you don't have spillage or overflow. And I actually really like that feature because a lot of my loose setting powders, you know, they spill everywhere and then you open them and then there's just a mess on the top. Glossier Powder is a nice lightweight setting powder, keeps the skin looking nice and natural. Would I necessarily recommend it over some of the other setting powders I speak about more often and use more frequently? No, just because I do say that though doesn't mean I don't like it. If you do like the Glossier powder, I do too. I think it's great, but I just have some others that I guess you could say I prefer over the Glossier powder. So let's move in to Glossier's bronzer, which I'm actually such a big fan of. I will say this is one of my new favorite bronzing products. I think it is so versatile and just always looks good no matter what. So this is the Glossier Solar Paint and I have the one in the shade Heat. It comes in a squeeze tube package, which we all know I love, and then it has a small doe foot applicator, honestly the size of a like liquid eyeshadow. So I almost kind of wish the doe foot was a little bit larger, but I actually don't. It's not like the end of the world or anything. This looks really beautiful, just blended out on clean skin, so you don't even have to have a base product underneath this for this to look good. And it just sets down. Like it sets down to this almost soft gel finish and it stays in place. It's not too fluid, it's not too dry, it's not too sheer. It builds on top of itself without skipping. So you know how sometimes cream bronzer products or even liquid bronzer products, the more you build them up, you almost get these like little patches and breaks in the makeup. I never have issues with this one, and I swear to you, it looks even better on top of foundation or like a tinted moisturizer. You truly get that like airbrushed, flawless, light bronze, but like perfect amount of intensity depending on, you know, how you build it up. Always looks natural, lasts throughout the day, blends out like a dream, and like seriously just so good. So impressed with this. Truly unique and such a great product where I haven't had any flukes with it. It just always works, and it's a good one. Definitely worth picking up or trying. Glossier's blushes are the cloud paints. So they come in these almost like little paint tube things, like these little apothecary slash artist paint tubes. The best way I can describe the formula of the cloud paints are a cream liquid hybrid. So they're really fluid and creamy, but they're kind of like watery too because they do sheer out really nicely, but they also can be built up to a more intense payoff like a cream blush. Some of them in particular, especially Puff, are a little bit more opaque upon the first application, but some of them are also just really easy to blend out on your cheeks. So I have the shades Haze, which is a soft berry tone, but it still has quite a lot of punch to it, so it's almost like a really nice jammy berry color. Dusk, which is my personal favorite. This is a fleshy nude. It's a really soft beige with a lot of warmth to it, and I think it's flattering on everyone. And then we have Beam, which is a creamy apricot cantaloupe shade. I like that it's got that creaminess to it because it just looks really pretty and youthful. And then Puff. Puff is a cool toned bubblegum pink. It's got a lot of opacity to this shade, and I just think this looks really fresh, really feminine, very cherub, very little angelic baby vibes. Glossier's highlights are the Haloscope highlights. There are 3 shades of this. I did previously have Moonstone, but it's no longer in my collection because I gave it away to a younger cousin. So I have the 2 shades that I actually wear. So this is Topaz and then Quartz. Topaz is a really beautiful golden soft bronze. It's quite dark in comparison to Quartz, but still a really gorgeous wearable shade. And then Quartz is a soft champagne pearl. It's quite considerably more on the pearl side. At least it pulls off a little bit more pearl versus champagne on my skin tone. I think these are formulated to absolute sophisticated perfection. They're beautiful, stunning. We love a Glossier Haloscope moment. They have a balm core. So in the core, that's really what gives you that like skin-like dewy balm. So it like looks more like a glow on your skin versus you just solely getting the sheen and glow from the pearl in these pigments. I'm gonna say they're stunning again, but I really like these. They tend to play really well on bare skin, tinted moisturizers, but also can be built up really nice on top of foundation. You just have to be a little bit more mindful on your blending so that you don't create patchiness, but truly just gives you like that right amount of candlelit glow and that really beautiful, soft, like sheen that everybody wants. Glossier has two different formulas of eyeshadow right now. Liquid, and then they just released new powder shadows. So I'll start off with the first like cream liquid mousse hybrid. These are the Glossier Lid Stars. I would say that I like these, but I think you have to get the right shade and make sure you're gonna get a shade that you're actually gonna wear all the time, because although these 3 shades are really beautiful, I don't find myself reaching for them quite as much anymore because they are like a little bit more specific of a look. And I think especially because everybody's not going out as much as they were in the past, or at least I'm not, I don't find myself reaching for like these quite as often, or at least right now. I really love the packaging of these. How they're kind of like scientific vials, and then you get that really nice exaggerated length on the wand. So I have 3 shades. I have Lily, which is this really pretty soft lilac, and in certain lights I swear this like shifts to a little bit more of a blue shade. Herb, which is a deep leafy green with a really beautiful gold shift to it. And then Cub, which is honestly like a taupey rose gold. That's what it pulls on my skin. It's got this little bit of brown to it. I can't really describe it, but you'll see it in the swatch. It's got like a little bit of taupiness to it. So Cub can also sometimes even be worn as more of a neutral everyday shade for me if I really sheer it out. I will say the Lid Stars are best worn as that. Sheer washes of color on the eye, blend it out with a brush, but more so just like that light little bit of glow on the eyelid. I find that they start getting a little bit patchy and almost like more difficult to work with the more you try to build it up. So from my experience, the way I really like wearing Lid Stars is just as like a soft lid glow on the eyes, and they are really beautiful. I just think that if I had a shade in brown or gold, I would wear it way more often than more of my fun colors. Now the other formula is the Glossier Sky Wash. So these again have that really nice, beautiful, exaggerated length in the wand. And I just feel like this length that they're giving you, it just almost makes it feel like a makeup brush when you're applying these Glossier liquid shadows. It just almost gives you the sensation of holding a makeup brush and gives you a little bit more precision when you're applying them. So Sky Wash is, again, a liquid shadow from Glossier that I think is a very specific person who's going to love this formula. This is the shade Echo, and I can sheer it out. It doesn't look the best. It gets a little bit splotchy. I really like wearing Echo as more of an intense built up shade around the lash line and then blend it out to get it nice and hazy and foggy. I was very excited to see Glossier come out with powder shadows, and they did it the Glossier way. So you get the same shade in 3 different finishes. So I got mine in the shade Teak, and you get the matte, the shimmer, and then the glitter. I love these formulas. I think they blend and they just like work like any other good eyeshadow. I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about my trio specifically. I really like these shades in Teak, specifically that satin shade. I think it gives you this really beautiful, almost like wet glow on the eye, and then I'll just like pick the glitter up on my finger and really press it onto my eyelid. The nice thing about this is if you are someone like me who doesn't really love eyeshadow and you really just need some like basic shades that you can literally wear every day, this is extremely practical. So although it's not the most exciting makeup product ever, I can tell you right now, this is gonna be something that you'll actually use up and you'll actually reach for versus an eyeshadow palette. Like, it seems kind of maybe silly to some people to have the same shade in 3 different finishes, but that's what I want. That's what I look for in an eyeshadow, because that's how I do my makeup every day. Like, I don't really, you know, use that many different shades. I just want like different finishes and textures, and I think doing that trio is the perfect way to get eyeshadow products that you will actually use every day. And I mean, they're powder eyeshadows. They blend, they last, they're great. So Glossier also has 2 brow products. So we have the Glossier Brow Flick, which is their like brow liquid pencil, if you will. It comes with a brush hair tip, ultra fine on that end. This could take a little bit of getting used to if you've never used a product like this, because the product is fluid. So if you've only used brow pencils or brow powders, it might be a little bit of a learning curve, but this is really that type of product that will give you the ability to create realistic hair-like strokes. You really can't beat these types of brow pens. There's a couple other brands that do them, and they're all really great. But I really like the Glossier one. I like how they did the brush hair tip. I have some that they have a, like almost like a sponge tip on the end, and I think I prefer this because you can use it to really flick and get those brows looking really nice and full. Glossier's Boy Brow is pretty famous. It's a really nice, versatile brow gel. It's like a brow gel pomade glue hybrid. So I have 2 shades. I have clear and then I have black. Clear is going to be just a clear brow gel. I wouldn't particularly recommend this over anything else, especially if you're looking for something that's going to give you that like really fluffy, almost like shellacked kind of brow. I would recommend the Reefy Brow Sculpt before I recommended this one. I don't know why. This one like just doesn't have as much grip to it as the shaded Glossier Boy Brows. So I have the Glossier Boy Brow in black, and what I really like about this is the tiny little brush. I like the formula. The product has a decent amount of pigment to it, but it's not over the top. There's still a sheerness to this product, so it makes it a little bit more easy and natural to work with. You can do those really fun, like fluffy, you know, Glossier Boy Brow brows with this, and you'll really get almost like a plumped up looking brow hair because this has that pomade-y quality to it. Or you can do more of a sleek, slicked brow and like kind of just do something a little bit more angular if you wish. So it's really nice in that sense. If you want to do fluffy or angular brows, you can get that look with this one. Glossier's Lash Slick Mascara. This one's a unique little mascara, and I know that's kind of hard to say about mascara at this point, but this one is quite special. I absolutely love the brush, how it's not overwhelmingly large. The bristles are really nice and fine. They are those plastic bristles. I like the taper at the end of the brush so you can really get into those small inner and outer corners. And the formula itself has by far the finest fibers I've seen in a mascara formula. Why did I say that? By far the finest brush fibers, oh my gosh, now my nose is itchy. Finest brush fibers I've seen in a mascara formula so far. So you do get that really soft, subtle amount of length, and it does have this really pretty clean volume, so it never looks too wispy or too clumpy. And it just kind of gives you the effect of almost like if you got really natural looking eyelash extensions. I feel like that's the best way I can describe the look of this. It's got a really nice, soft, touchable dry down, so your lashes don't feel stiff or brittle. I never have issues with smudging or crumbling and flaking. I think it's just all around a really nice, gentle, flattering mascara. We're going to end this video on Glossier lip products, starting off with Balm.com. I could not tell you how many tubes I've gone through of this product. Literally, I share these with my boyfriend. He loves it too. It's just a really nice light lip balm. I have the cookie butter one now, which is really exciting because it actually does smell just like cookie butter, and it has a soft caramel tint to it. So just something I wanted to let you know, if you're somebody who really does not like tinted lip products, just be mindful of the flavor and the scent or whatever, because a lot of the flavored scented ones are tinted. But I think this smells so good. Like honestly, so addicting, so nice for the colder months. And then we have the Glossier lip gloss. This is just the original Glossier clear. So juicy, so glass-like, so shiny. I think I've said it before, I feel like this is probably the shiniest lip gloss I own. And I know that sounds wild. How could the Glossier clear be any shinier than any of the other clear glosses that you own? I don't know, but I know I've said it. It's the clearest, shiniest lip gloss ever. It's so beautiful. I just love it. And I just like the vibe of this. So, I haven't tried this head to head with the Fenty clear gloss, but this is really beautiful and it's a really great soft, like comfortable, not sticky clear gloss. So then Glossier also has the Generation G lipsticks. These are more of a blotted matte lip balm. They are very smooth, they are very creamy, and very comfortable to wear on the lips. And quite honestly, this is the type of lip product that I like to wear every day on the lips. My two favorite shades are Leo. Leo is a little bit of a deep, it's not overly deep, but I wanna say just like a little bit of a deep cocoa brown. It's got a lot of really nice warmth to it, but still does not look overly warm on the lips. And then Cake. Cake is a really pretty soft, like brown with a little bit of apricot to it. So it's got this really nice tiny bit of almost like orangey warmth to it. And I just think it's so pretty and so flattering. Glossier Generation G is honestly one of the most ideal matte lip formulas because they're comfortable. They just feel like a lip balm. Honestly, if you've used the NYX Revel de Mille lip balm, it's like that, but in lip color form. So it's a really nice moisturizing feeling matte. Glossier's newest lip launch were the Ultra Lips. So I have 3 shades. I love them all. This is by far my favorite lip product from Glossier. And I'm gonna start off with the shade Cachet because this one's super unique and I just really adore the shade. So this is like a smoky leather brown. And look how pretty it is. It's like got a good amount of sheerness to it. It's just so unique. I don't have any other shade like this in my lip collection and I just find it so flattering and so unique at the same time. I just really enjoy that. And then we have Trench, which is more of a caramel brown. Could definitely still be classified as like quite nude, especially on my skin tone. It just kind of like, you know, gives my lips a little bit of life and a little bit more glow. And then we have the shade Lucite, which is this really beautiful, soft pink, quite sheer. I love that it's got a little bit more of a cool undertone to it because I think it makes your teeth look whiter too. But also I think you can see with all 3 of these swatched side by side, they all have this really nice, charming sheerness to them. So it just makes them like so much more ideal to wear like on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to think too hard about it and they always look really fresh and juicy on your lips. All right, that is it for my Glossier edit. I hope this was informative, but if you have any leftover questions about any of these products, you can always leave them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to help you. I'll also list and link all of these products in the description box for you, as well as specific skin tone shades, so that can be a little bit more helpful as a reference for you. And yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up. And if you want to see any more product videos like this, I could turn this into a series as well. Thank you so much for watching this, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Please come follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you guys. Bye.